The Gods of Exile. Part 3. Shattering the Glass. Driven by his growing obsession with freeing himself from the perceived constraints of this passage, Aragoth resolved to confront Etheria, the goddess of time. He knew that ending her would not be a simple task, as she was one of the most ancient and powerful beings in existence. Aragoth tore a rift through the very fabric of reality, but upon trying to enter her realm, he was met not with open gates or ethereal welcome, but with an invisible yet utterly tangible force. It shimmered in his perception, a distortion of the very fabric of reality, a proactive ward woven from the raw essence of time itself. This barrier wasn't a conscious response, but rather an intrinsic defense mechanism, a silent testament to Etheria's profound understanding of the delicate and vital nature of time. It existed as a fundamental law within her domain, preventing any unauthorized intrusion into the heart of temporal existence. To Aragoth, who existed outside the conventional flow of moments, the barrier felt both alien and stubbornly resistant. It pulsed with the weight of countless potential futures and the echoes of infinite pasts, a chaotic yet ordered energy that sought to repel any foreign influence. He could sense the power woven into its very structure, the intricate dance of cause and effect that formed its seemingly impenetrable surface. It was a defense born of foresight, a shield designed to preserve the sanctity of time from any disruption, regardless of the intruder's motives. Undeterred, fueled by his ancient suffering and the singular focus on ending it, Aragoth gathered his dark energy. It coiled around him like a living shadow, a force antithetical to the harmonious flow he sensed within the barrier. He focused his intent, channeling his will into a single, devastating strike. It wasn't a measured assault, but a raw, unrestrained expulsion of his power, an attempt to brute force his way through the temporal defenses. The moment his fist connected with the invisible shield, the realm erupted in a silent cacophony of distorted time. The point of impact shimmered and cracked, as if reality itself were tearing. The air grew heavy, thick with the clashing energies of timeless beings and the very essence of time. For a fleeting moment, it seemed the barrier would hold, its inherent stability resisting Aragoth's chaotic force. But the sheer intensity of his ancient power, the desperation born from eons of suffering, proved too great. With a soundless shattering, like a pane of infinite glass fracturing, the temporal barrier yielded. Rifts of distorted time momentarily flared, allowing Aragoth to glimpse the chaotic currents within Etheria's realm before collapsing in on themselves. He felt a momentary resistance, a pushback of temporal energy trying to expel him, but he pressed forward, his dark essence tearing through the weakened shield. With a final surge of power, he breached the once impenetrable defense, stepping into the heart of Etheria's domain, the air thick with the raw, untamed energy of time itself. The way now lay open for his confrontation with the goddess of time. Part 4. Shadows of Victory. When Aragoth breached the protective barrier, he stepped into a domain that pulsed with the very essence of time. So, Aragoth's voice boomed, laced with a dark satisfaction that echoed through the temporal currents. The goddess of endless suffering finally stands before me. Etheria's voice, a harmonious resonance that seemed to emanate from the very flow of time, replied, "You trespass, Ancient One. This realm is sacred, the foundation upon which all existence rests." Aragoth, fueled by his ancient suffering and the dark energy that permeated his being, attacked with brutal force. His blows were not merely physical. They were attempts to disrupt the temporal currents of Etheria's realm. to fracture the delicate structure of cause and effect. Where his fists struck, moments twisted and recoiled, creating localized temporal storms that rippled outwards. Etheria countered with movements that seemed to defy linear time. She would anticipate his attacks before they fully materialized, her defenses materializing from moments yet to come. She could accelerate or decelerate localized time around herself, making her appear to flicker in and out of existence, untouchable one moment and a swift counterforce the next. You cling to this flow. Aragoth snarled, his strikes growing more desperate as Etheria evaded him. But it is the very chain that binds us all to this meaningless cycle. Meaning is woven through time, Aragoth, Etheria countered, deflecting a blast of his dark energy with a shield of solidified moments. It is the tapestry upon which experience and growth unfold. You seek only oblivion. The battle in Etheria's realm was not a simple exchange of blows. It was a cataclysmic unraveling and reweaving of temporal energies. The air shimmered with the echoes of moments past and the nascent potential of futures yet to unfold. Etheria, a being of serene yet formidable power, met his intrusion with a regal fury. Her form flickered and shifted, embodying the ceaseless flow of moments. Her movements fluid yet precise, each gesture carrying the weight of eons. The very landscape of Etheria's realm buckled and warped under the strain of their conflict. Sections of the environment would age and crumble to dust in an instant, only to be rewound and restored by Etheria's will. The air crackled with paradoxes as past and future momentarily bled into the present. Aragoth, a being who existed before time, found himself battling within its very heart, a paradox that fueled his rage and desperation. He unleashed blasts of raw, anti-temporal energy, hoping to obliterate the source of his torment. "Your precious existence ends here," Aragoth roared, unleashing a torrent of dark energy that tore through the temporal fabric of the chamber. Etheria, though powerful, was fighting a being who existed outside the very rules she governed. His attacks were alien and unpredictable, sometimes phasing through temporal defenses or striking from moments that hadn't yet arrived in her linear perception. "My end," Etheria replied, her voice strained but resolute. With it, the very structure of reality would unravel. You understand, not the chaos you unleash. The battle raged for what felt like an eternity, a period stretching beyond mortal comprehension. The raw power unleashed by their clash sent shockwaves through the other divine realms, though the other gods could only sense a profound discordance, an unsettling tremor in the fundamental patterns of existence, without fully grasping the apocalyptic struggle at its source. Finally, after what seemed like an infinite exchange, Aragoth, through sheer relentless force and perhaps a touch of temporal manipulation that even Etheria struggled to fully comprehend, found a decisive opening. His dark energy, a force antithetical to the natural flow of time, struck Etheria with a devastating blow. The goddess of time, for the first time since the dawn of creation, faltered. Her radiant form flickered violently, the temporal energies that composed her essence fracturing. With a final, sorrowful sigh that echoed through the collapsing moments of her realm. So, the moment has finally come to pass, an outcome most inevitable. Etheria fell silent, her light extinguished. The battle ended not with a bang, but a whimper. The goddess of time, Etheria, was gone, erased from the tapestry of existence. But time itself did not die with her. He waited, expecting the very fabric of existence to fray, for the flow of moments to cease. Yet, it did not. A wave of disbelief washed over him. Time still ticked, an undeniable pulse in the silence. A flicker of confusion crossed his features. It should have stopped. He looked around the chamber, a dawning unease replacing his triumph. Part 4.5. The Silent Era. Though Etheria was dead, her physical essence did not vanish. Instead, the trauma of her death caused her form to shatter into countless fragments of divine light. These fragments became spirits. A distinct period of history occurred here, known as the Silent Era. The spirits scattered across the physical realm, and for an unknown age, the spirits roamed this empty world alone, confused and drifting in a parallel dimension, overlapping the physical realm. Crucially, the gods could not perceive this parallel dimension. To the divine gaze of the council, the world appeared completely empty and barren. The shattered nature of the spirits made them invisible to the senses of the higher beings.